विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत्य श्रीमद प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमद भक्ति वैभव पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्रीमद भक्ति राग शक्तिधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। परम भागवत शिल गौर किशोर दास जी महाराज की जय। सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपनुग गुडिय गुरुवर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। स्वरूप दामोदर राय रमानंद दी श्री गौर परिषद वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। नवदीप मंडल की जय। व्रज मंडल की जय। क्षेत्र मंडल की जय। त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन भगवान नृसिंहदेव की जय। भक्त प्रशी प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। रसेश्वरी क्रियेश्वरी वृंदावनेश्वरी सेवकुंजेश्वरी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पवनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनन्दलीलमय विग्रहाय मगधीविच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। नित्यानन्द नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानन्दप्रदायिने कलो कल्मषनाशाय जन्मपतये नमः। अजनलम्बितभुजौ कनकवदातो सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरो कमलायताक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो द्विजुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। अद्वैत प्रकृतिकृत नरहरिप्रेष्ठ स्वरूप प्रिय नित्यानंद सका सनातन गति शिरूप हृदयकेतन लक्ष्मी प्राणपति गदाधर रसल्लास्य जगन्नाथ गो संग पंग सपर्शद सदयितं देवा सचिनंदन सौंदर्य कामकोटि सकल जन समाह्लादने चंद्रकोटि वत्सल्य मत्रिकोटि स्त्रिदशवितपिनं कोटिरौदर्य सारि गंभीर्यं बोधिकोटिर्मधुरिमणि सुधाक्षीरमाद्विककोटि गौरदेव सजीयत प्रणय रसपदे दर्शिताश्चर्यकोटि हेलदुनितखेदय विशदया प्रन्मीलदन्मोदय चम्यच्च स्त्रिविवादय रसदया चित्तर्पितन्मादय शश्वद्भक्तिविनोदय समदया माधुर्य मर्यादय श्रीचैतन्यदया निदेतवदया भूयादमन्दोदय। श्री संसार दुःख जलदपतितस्य कामक्रोधतिनाक्रमकरैकवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासिनं निगदितस्य निरश्रयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्रमम देहि पदावलम्बं कलाकलिलबलैरिन्द्रियवैरिवर्ग श्रीभक्तिमार्गैः कण्टककोटिरुद्धा हा हा कोयामि विकला किमहं करोमि चैतन्यचन्द्र यदिनादिकृपां करोषि। कनकजलदगात्रो नीलशोणब्जनेत्रो मृगमदवरबालो मालतिकुन्दमालो तरलतरुणवेशो नीलपीताम्बरेशो स्मरनिभृतनिकुञ्जे राधिका कृष्णचन्द्र तवैव अस्मि न जीवमि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं नय मम चरणन्तिके। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। First of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of Nitila Prayishtam Vishnupada Stutra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Shiksha Gurudeva Som Vishnupada Stutra Sata Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj Srimati Krishna Priyata Koni, the Lordships Shri Radha Madan Mohan, also Shri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, the author of Sri Caitanya-bhagavata, Srila Vrindavana Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, Vrindavan Das Thakur, dear devotees and guests in Chandrika Kunj Groombridge, also those of you who are watching us online or in recording, Dandavat Pranam. So we were hearing Gaura-lila, and that is most blessed event, to hear Gaura-lila, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are most fortunate in the universe. Even great Vaishnavas of other sampradayas cannot really appreciate Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, although they're striving for that. And you remember how in Mayapur, Navadvip, in one place, one of the islands of Navadvip, there was a place where all the acharyas of the four sampradayas were meditating on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they got the revelation. So the great teachers of the disciplic successions, different disciplic successions, were meditating on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also they were receiving the transcendental knowledge in that place in Vidyanagar, that is also Gauramandala, the center of all knowledge. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was studying there in the Tola, in the Sanskrit school, and also the four acharyas of the sampradayas, they were performing their, how to say, austerities and bhajan there, so that they can receive the transcendental knowledge. So everything, Mahaprabhu has everything that is the topmost Purushottama, topmost manifestation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why in the central temple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Sri Chaitanya Mat Mayapur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Gandharvika Giridhari are in the center, and on the sides, Sri Madhvacharya, Sri Ramanujacharya, and on the other side, Sri Vishnu Swami, Sri Nimbaditya, four acharyas, and Mahaprabhu in the center. So that is very, very significant. So his pastimes are everything for us, like everything, everything, everything. So today and tomorrow we'll be hearing more confidential pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yesterday, day before, we were hearing more general, Jagai Madhai, and Srila Haridas Thakur, very exalted, but they're like more understandable for common people or for guests. But today, mostly devotees are here, and those who already chant a little bit, so it will help you to understand. The more you chant, the more you understand, because that's the heart process. Cheta Darpana Marjanam means cleansing of the mirror of the heart, which has been polluted so many lifetimes, so many impressions, materialistic impressions, but now we're chanting and we're hearing. So how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immersed in trance when he started manifesting himself as a devotee, we're hearing in London and Watford. So today we'll continue in Watford, in the last, in Purushottam's place. That was the series of classes dedicated to the beginning of Gauranga, of sankirtana-lila, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his sankirtana, his manifestation as a devotee. So we heard yesterday and the day before some synopsis about, on the first stage of his manifested pastimes, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu was not revealing himself. He was still known as Nimai Pandit, the great logician, the great master of grammar, the knower of knower of logic, knower of verbal roots, etc. So, and then he became, all of a sudden, he became a Vaishnava. When he returned from Gaya, after having performed the last rituals for his father, then he met his spiritual master, Ishvara Puripad, in London on the first evenings. We heard that. Then we heard how he revealed himself as a devotee. He was telling his devotees about these wonderful manifestations at Gaya, and then he was teaching his students Verbal roots, but everything he could speak was about Krishna. All the roots come up to the principle of Krishna. Krishna is permeating all the syllables of the alphabet. Everything is depending on Krishna. Everything is coming out of Krishna. And if you remember Purushottam's place, we were discussing how when Sri Chaitanya, he was still known as Gauranga, not Mahaprabhu is more after. So as Gauranga, so when Brahmana, who was quoting Srimad-bhagavatam, he was chanting the shlokas, the Bhagavatam, just at his house, at the threshold of his house. So Gauranga became totally ecstatic and he started crying and all those things. So Mother Shachi, you remember, were very much disturbed. Oh, why is my son like this? He had never been like that before. Only Krishna and only crying. Oh, so she was very disturbed. So at that moment, Gauranga was continuing revealing his pastimes. So the devotees went to Advaita Acharya. Sri Advaita Acharya was one of the causes of Sri Chaitanya's appearance. Advaita is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, and he is very confidential associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the source of all incarnations, is the center, the whole, and Advaita is the part of the whole. So Mahavishnu thus invited Krishna, who is the source of all incarnations, to descend. Sri Advaita Acharya found a verse in the scriptures saying that if by offering water of Ganga and a leaf of Tulsi you worship the Lord, then the Lord is fully satisfied by you. The Lord is fully purchased by you, and the Lord will be able to fulfill all of your desires. Long cherished desire. What was the long cherished desire of Advaita? For the Lord to descend, because he saw the pitiful condition of people in this world. So we've heard in the beginning, in the introductory mantra, Advaita Prakati. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made himself visible, Prakati, to Advaita. And he was called by Advaita. So he was roaring, so all the earth was trembling. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to descend. He had to descend to satisfy his very dear devotee. We were speaking about the reasons of his descent very briefly yesterday, day before. Today we'll speak about the 4 reasons first. So the roar of Advaita Acharya was one of the reasons of Gauranga's descent. One of the reasons. So there are 2 primary reasons and 2 secondary reasons. The 2 secondary reasons are for the jivas, for the living entities of this world. And the 2 primary reasons for himself. Premaras niriyas karityas vadam. He wanted to taste the very, very wonderful flavor of devotion. His own devotion. He has. I mean, of Srimati Radhika's devotion, actually. But he was manifesting as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is why. The secondary 2.2, the second secondary reason. The second of the 2 secondary reasons was that Tranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma sartartanam pranam sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, when the religious following of the religious duties is forgotten, when people become forgetful of Krishna, then I come to reestablish religious principles and to bestow mercy upon them. So that is, and to also punish the miscreants. So that is the second of the 2 secondary reasons of Mahaprabhu's appearance. Secondary reasons means for us. Gurudev was asked very often, so did Krishna come for us or for himself? Did Mahaprabhu come for us or for himself? Gurudev was saying mysteriously, the Lord performs every action with so many purposes of performance of one action. So for him and for us also, both are very important, because Krishna is very important, his desire is very important, and we are very important. Why? Because not because of a false ego, we're important. No, because we are his parts and parcels. So for him, we're very, very, very important. So he came for us, to give us his consciousness, Krishna consciousness. He knew that we were suffering like this, so he came as a devotee. And the first secondary reason was the call of Advaita Acharya. The call of Advaita Acharya was the first of the secondary reasons. So for the devotees, for people in general and for the devotees, that is the secondary reason. And the internal reason, external reason. And the internal reason, the second internal reason was to Premaras Niryas Karite Swadam Raga Marga Bhakti Loki Karite Pracharan. So, second external, to give mercy to the jivas, Paritranaya Sadhanam Vinashaya Dushkritam. The first of the secondary reasons was to Raga Marga Bhakti Loki Karite Pracharan. Sorry, I was mixed that up. So, Raga Marga Bhakti Loki Karite Pracharan, in order to bestow Raga Marga for the jivas. That is the first secondary reason, for the jivas. Give the spontaneous devotion. And since Advaita Acharya is his part, so the part was calling for the whole. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the fulfillment of the desire for his own self, means Advaita Acharya is him actually, because Mahavishnu is also him, Sadashiva is also him. So that is the second internal reason. Mixed that up a bit. So it's very interesting that in Chaitanya Charitamrita it said the way I first said, but actually Gurudev was saying the different one. He was saying Raga Marga Bhakti Loki is the first of the secondary reasons, first of the external reasons, and the second internal reason was the call of Advaita Acharya. And this 1.1, the first of the internal reasons, was to fulfill his three desires. Where is Purushottam? Purushottam, what doing? So, Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishavana Eva Swadena Adbhutam Adurima Kidrisho Madhya Sokyam Chasya Manudavatam Kidrisham Vetilobat Tadbhavadya Samajani Sachigarbha Sindhu Harin. Listen attentively. So the first of the internal reasons is to fulfill his three desires. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrishavana Eva. What is the depth of Srimati Radhika's love? Even Krishna could not measure, even Krishna could not understand. Because Radhika's love is Madanakya, Mahabhava. That is the highest pivot of Mahabhava. Highest manifestation. Even Krishna comes up to Rudha Adiruddha only. So he could not understand. That's why he was, by every action of his, he was meditating on Srimati Radhika's love. He was trying to understand its depth. Shiradaya Pranayama Kidrishavana Vaswadena Adbhutamurima Kidrushava Madhya. Now, what is the astonishing Madhurima, the sweetness of my own name, form, qualities, and pastimes, which are available for her and only for her. So that is the second desire. The third desire, Saukyam Chasya Manudavatam Kidrisham Vetilova. What happiness she feels when she is perceiving that in her heart. So those were the three confidential reasons for Krishna's appearance. You remember them? Okay. 2.2 Purushottam. To bestow Yuga Dharma to the jivas. Yuga Dharma means chanting of the holy name. Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chidushkritam. To give the holy name. That is the second of the external reasons. So the first of the external reasons is to give the spontaneous devotion to the jivas. Raga Marga Bhakti Laki. Okay, remember. Now the second internal reason is to satisfy the call of Advaita Acharya. And yes, internal, because Advaita Acharya is God, Lord Advaita, is himself, to fulfill his desires. That's the internal. And the first, Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima, desires, what are they? The depth of Srimati Radhika's love, the essence of his own beauty, which perceives in her love Srimati Radhika and only her, and finally, what happiness she feels when she perceives his beauty. So these are the three unfulfilled desires of Krishna, which constitute the first internal reason. Okay? So thanks for your attention. That was a very deep part, Siddhantic part. So I know you're tired, but anyway, try to hear this. So that's why Advaita Acharya, immediately the devotees went to see him, because he was the cause of Gauranga's appearance. And they knew he was calling for the Lord. Why? Because he saw that the people in this world are so fallen. They're so fallen. They are not fulfilling any actions which are meant for the real good, real like spiritual prosperity. They were concerned only with material prosperity, and they were worshipping demigods and trying to, be happy in this world, which is totally illusory. It's not possible. So we're in Krishna consciousness, we're happy. Sometimes it seems that we're unhappy when Maya comes and captures us. But no, actually we're happy, so we try to practice again nicely together, and we're feeling happiness again, so much inspiration. So yes, they came to Advaita Acharya, and actually Advaita Acharya was the end of Gauranga's pastimes. And the end of Gauranga's pastimes, when the time came for Gauranga to go back to his eternal planet, Shvetadvip, in spiritual sky, then Advaita wrote a sonnet, a type of little verse, saying, there is enough rice in the marketplace. Everybody has been satiated. There's no need for the market to be open anymore. It's time for the market to close. Oh, first he said that one madman is writing to another madman. One madman is writing to another madman. There is enough rice in the marketplace. Soon the market will be closed, because everybody is satiated. So that was it. So he gave the sonnet through some messenger to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu read it, and he could understand. It's time to go. So Advaita Acharya, that was also Advaita. So he was the orchestrator, he was like a conductor, Okay, start, now enough, finish. Okay, that was Advaita. So the most powerful Advaita, as soon as he heard the news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had become devotee, he understood through the influence of devotional service, the Lord has incarnated. He said, the Lord has incarnated. Yet the truth of Advaita Acharya is difficult to understand, because he sometimes reveals himself and sometimes conceals himself. Still, he is the great personality, the root of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance. When Advaita heard the news, he became fully absorbed and began to speak. Oh brothers, please hear me. Last night I saw something in a dream. Oh, those dreams. Those dreams are so mysterious. Dreams seen by the Lord, his pure devotees. That is actually a very, very important part of reality, transcendental reality. So we should not neglect. They're all true. Oh brothers, please hear me. When I was unable to understand something that I had read in Bhagavad Gita, then I took rest without eating. I was so worried. Could not understand something in Bhagavad Gita, Advaita Acharya. Certain verse, I don't know, it's not disclosed, but he went to sleep. And in the dead of night, someone came to me in a dream and said, Uthara Acharya Dhata Karaha Bhojan, rise Acharya, and go to take your meal. Sanctioned by the Lord. Be appeased, go take your meal, and then listen.
I'm explaining the meaning of the text that you read. Get up, eat, and worship me. The Lord said from above, why are you feeling sad? You have obtained everything. Your resolution has been fulfilled. Your fasting, your worship, your tears while crying out the name of Krishna, and your vow with raised arms, all to induce the Lord's advent, have now become successful. Finally, it did happen. You have fulfilled your purpose. No? The chanting of Krishna's names will be spread to all countries, the Lord continued in a dream, in all towns, in all houses. Devotional service that is rare for even Lord Brahma will now be available to everyone by your mercy. All the Vaishnavas will experience realizations at the house of Srivas Pandit that are rare for even Lord Brahma. The main revelations, as we will hear today, we'll hear it will start. Very, very mysterious story about how it all started. Like the beginning we heard in London, Watford, but today we'll hear those were just the first installments, like introductory. But today it will really start, like Act One, really of the transcendental drama. We'll hear how it happened in the house of Srivas. That's why when we come to the house of Srivas, Srivasangan, that's a very, very special place. Very special place. So, oh, be appeased, O Srivas. Oh, I'm sorry, O Advaita, the voice said, the Lord said, go take your meal. 3 times it mentioned, eat your meal. So how important it is to take prasad, isn't it? So the Lord himself is directing, go and eat your meal. I'm departing now, but I will come again while you're eating. The Lord is, how to say, announcing his appearance, the 2 visions. So very mystical, isn't it? That's the real religious life, when we experience those things. We are preparing ourselves. Don't be, how to say, doubtful. We will experience all this very soon. The whole mystery will come into our lives. We will have this. The whole Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, everything we do will lead to this very soon, because we have proper sadhu sangha of those devotees who are on that level. So very, very soon we'll really experience that. So that's why we're hearing this. This is like, telling us what will happen. So Advaita is saying, when I opened my eyes, I saw Vishwambar. Vishwambar means another name of Gauranga. Vishwa means universe. Ambara means one who sustains all universe by his bhakti. So when I opened my eyes, I saw Vishwambar, but he soon disappeared from my sight. I cannot understand Krishna's mysteries, such as which form he manifests, or in whom he manifests. Not possible. At the end today, we'll hear, I think, also how Gauranga manifested to Murari Gupta, Sri Murari Gupta, one devotee. He's incarnation of Hanuman. And for him, he is Ramachandra, But still, to Murari Gupta, he appeared as Varaha, boar. Varaha, So, very, very interesting. So Advaita is saying it's not possible to conceive why the Lord is coming to certain devotees in certain incarnations. So logically, it should have been Ramachandra, but no, Lord Boar came. Varaha. So Advaita Acharya was the leader of the Vaishnavas and the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishwarupa, used to come and study with Advaita. So Vishwarupa was totally renounced. He was completely oblivious of anything material. There was actually nothing to forget, because he was never thinking of anything material since he was born. So he was just thinking about the scriptures, and he was coming to the house of Advaita Acharya, and they were chanting together, and they were discussing Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. And he was oblivious of eating, sleeping, those things. So Shachimata, the mother of Sri Chaitanya, was sending little Nimai to pick up his brother, Vishwarupa, who was engaged with Advaita Acharya. So he was coming there, and he was seeing that Vaishnavas are very deeply immersed in listening to the scriptures. So he was saying to his brother, Vishwarup, oh Bhaiya, Mata is waiting for you with lunch. Please come and take your meal. But Vishwarupa was not reacting. So Gauranga was grabbing his dhoti and like this, pulling him. So finally he was going. But Vaishnavas were fully taken aback. They were mesmerized when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They could not really divert their glance. And Advaita could not understand who that was. But at this moment, in the episode we're now hearing, he finally could understand who Sri Gauranga was. He could understand that same Supreme Lord who came to answer my plea. So Advaita is saying here, yes, Advaita is saying, his elder brother Vishwarup used to come and study Bhagavad Gita with me. This child, Vishwambar, was most enchantingly attractive. He used to come to my house to call his brother. On seeing the beauty of this child, my heart was captivated. I blessed him with the words, "May you attain devotional service to the Lord." So he's saying about his experience. So finally Advaita Acharya roared loudly in ecstasy, "Anande Advaita Kare Paramahunkar." Paramahunkar means roared very loud, and all the Vaishnavas chanted in jubilation. So they were chanting Hari, Hari, names of Lord Krishna, and Krishna manifested there in the form of kirtan. So very important for us. When we sing, when we chant kirtan, the Lord manifests. That is the Lord. If we chant sincerely, definitely He will manifest. All the devotees then offered their obeisances to Advaita Acharya and left chanting the names of Hari. The Lord spoke with great respect to everyone He met. When the Lord went in the morning to take bath in the Ganga, He met many Vaishnavas on the way. As soon as the Lord saw Srivas Pandit and the devotees, as He was going, He met them at the bathing place. He offered them obeisances, and the devotees blessed the Lord out of love. So here is very, very touching episode, because Gauranga himself is blessed by his devotees. He's in the role of a devotee, and here he will glorify his devotees. When we think that, oh, we should establish relationship with Krishna, it's definitely so, we should. But we must not forget about the devotees, because through the mercy of the devotees, everything comes. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, commenting these verses, is stressing again and again how Vaishnava Seva is so important. So the devotees headed by Srivas, who had met Gauranga on the way to the bathing place, started blessing him. Tomara hoka bhakti Krishna racharane, mukhe Krishna bala Krishna shuna shravani. May you obtain devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna. Chant and hear the names of Krishna. My dear, if you worship Krishna, everything will be successful. And if you do not worship Krishna, your beauty and education are useless. So-called beauty, not really nice. So-called education, not really nice. Naishkarmeme pechyutabhava varjitam nashobitam gyanamalam niranjitam kudapanashashvadam vandram ishwari nacharpita karmadhyana pyakaram. Narada is saying to Vyasa, he's saying, even if one is not interested in karma, means material life, if one is going towards jnana, yoga, those processes like knowledge of the absolute, studying of the scriptures, and meditating on the absolute truth in an impersonal manner, or one goes towards yoga and meditates on Paramatma, Narada is calling that Nashobam. Nashobam. Nashkarme me pechitaba varchadam nashobate. Nashobate means not nice. Not nice. Seems to be great, you know. If you see it like, you know, as a bodybuilder, no? Or say something really, really significant, you know, in this world. But it's not related to Krishna. It's actually not nice. It can be a combination of material elements, or combination of some results of mental activity, you know, concentration and some meditation. But even if that is absolute truth, when the devotion is absent, and the recognition of the personal, incomparable features of the Supreme. That is Nashobhati. Narada saying to Vyasa, Nashobhati, not really nice. Nashobhati Jnanamalam Niranjana. Even those people are meditating on Niranjana, means not, how to say, transcendental matter, still. Jnanamalam Niranjana. Kuta punasha shvada badram ishwari nacharpita kinam anam. Kuta punasha shvada badram ishwari. Not clear if they are really achieve their goal. Without bhakti, it's not possible. So they gave these blessings. The devotees gave blessings to Gauranga. The Lord was very greatly pleased with their blessings, so he cast his merciful glance on them. Tomarasika satya kari ashirvad, tomaravakene an kariva prasad. All your blessings are certainly fruitful. Why would you give any other lesser benedictions? You alone are capable of awarding devotional service to Krishna. For by serving his servants, Krishna bestows his mercy. Here's the truth that the Lord is giving at once. Servant of the servant. Before going to the altar, Pujari speaks this verse. Before chanting our Gayatris, we sometimes say this verse. You must have heard, Naham Vipro Nacha Nara. Have you? Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatim Napi Vaishina Shudro. Naham Varnina Cha Grihapatirno Vanastanatirva. Kintu Pradyan Nikila Paramananda Purnamritabdir Gopi Vartu Pada Kamalar Das. I'm not, in this verse, it's this very, very ancient verse from Padyavali, ancient anthology of ancient verses compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. So, Naham Vipro, I'm not a Brahmana. Narapatim, I'm not the king of Kshatriya. Naham Vipro, Nacha Narapatim, Napi Vaishya, na Shudro. I'm not Vaishya, I'm not Shudra. Okay, in Vedic society, there were 4 castes or 4 groups. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra. Have you heard? No? Oh, you heard. Okay, so the priests, the kings, or administrators, warriors, right? King is also a warrior, and the head of the state, and then merchants and peasants, working on land and selling things, and then workers who serve the 3 high classes. So I'm not belonging to any of those. Naham Vipro Nacha Narapatim Napi Vaishana Shudra. Naham Varni Nacha Grihapatir Navanas. I'm not also a member of any grade of society. Like Brahmana. Oh, I mixed it up. So the first one was the 4 social classes, and the second one 4 spiritual classes. I'm not member of any 4 social classes. Naham Vipra, no Brahman, Vaishna, Kshatriya, Shudra, that's it, okay? And now spiritual classes, that's correct. I didn't mix anything. So the second one is about spiritual classes. So I'm not Brahmachari, Grihasta, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. Means I'm not a celibate student. Traditionally, before the age of 25, student is staying with Guru in the Gurukula, serving Gurudev intimately, learning spiritual discipline from him, and then absorbing all spiritual imports of spiritual truths. So then after, he can marry if he wants. If he doesn't want, he may stay celibate. But then he can become grihasta or householder. When the children are grown up, the person is gradually renouncing material life, as we were speaking a little bit. With your situation, that children can bring some food, he can stay in some wood near the house, or some cottage, and then children take care, and then fully renounces at the age of 75, takes danda, holy staff, and goes out to search for God, Krishna. So that is sannyasi. So that is traditional in Vedic society. So I'm not belonging to any of these 4 + 4, 8 categories. It's said in this verse. So who am I? That is very important self-identification verse. So before chanting our Gayatri, we chant this verse. Oh, please, Gayatri Devi. Please, Gurudev. Make me feel like this, but I'm not of any of this. Gurudev was ironically saying to us, "We're starting Gayatri. My wife left me." My husband doing nonsense, we're thinking different other things instead of chanting with concentration. This mantra helps very, very much to concentrate properly. So, Naham Vipro Nachanarapatim Nachana Gurhapatir Nova Nastantirva Kintu Pradyan Nikila Parama the Kamalar Dasa. Now I will go down on this path of Paramananda, the greatest bliss, and I am the eternal servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of Gopi. Bhartu means the beloved of the gopis, Krishna. I am the servant of that. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also quoting this verse when he was dancing at Ratha Yatra before Lord Jagannath. First verse he quoted was this: Naham Vipro Nachanarapatim Napivash Dasa, servant of the servant. So remember. So Kinkula Shakar also is praying. The Mukunda Mala Stotra is praying. Mad Janmana Palamidam Madukaita Bari Mat Prartaniya Madanugraha Esha Et Tad Britya Paricharaka Brittasya Brittetimam Smaralokanat. So 7 times the word servant is mentioned here. Britya means servant. Brittasya Britya. Paricharaka also servant. Brittasya Britya also servant of the servant. So 7 times servant. Servant of the 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 servant. Why? This stresses the idea we have to serve devotees. Serve devotees. It's very, very important. Then devotees are servants of the servants. So Mahaprabhu then started praising his devotees. Your blessings are certainly fruitful. You alone are capable of awarding devotional service to Krishna. By serving the devotees, Krishna bestows his mercy. Prahlad Maharaj also, many, many verses here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada quotes. Prahlad is praying, is saying to his father actually. Naisham matistava durukramangrim sprishadyanartha pagamo yadartha mahiya sampadaraja bhishekam nishkinchananam navrinita yavat. Prahlad, you know Prahlad? He was a little boy. And his father was the king of the demons. Great, great demon. But he was the saint. Because he learned, while being in the womb of mother, he learned so much about devotion from Narada, great saint. So, because he was instructing his mother, so he was in the womb and he learned everything. So he's saying here to his father, when father asked, what is the best thing you learned in school? And Prahlada is saying, Neshammatis, in this verse, Mahiya Sampadara Jobishekam. So, the attachment to the Supreme Lord can be gained only by taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. And by washing the lotus feet of the Lord and drinking that water. That is called devotion. So thus one can become Krishna conscious only. So again, serving the devotees. So we can hear how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eager to serve his devotees. You always teach me my duties to Lord Vishnu. This proves that I must have previously performed pious activities. So such humility is saying. So yes, when we perform some activities in devotion, then we get a gift in the next lifetime. Devotees come and pick us up. Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangyana Parijayate Satsanga Prapiti Pumbir Sukritai Purva Sanchitai. Because of the previous samskara, sukritis means devotional merits, will come in the association of devotees. But we may start thinking proudly, this is our merit. No, this is not our merit. This is all because of the grace of the devotees. So, anyway, we must have done also something before. So, Gauranga said, I can have devotion to Krishna only by serving you. Saying this, the Lord caught hold of the feet. He carefully wrung out the water from someone's wet cloth and handed someone else his dhoti, like this, trying to serve. We collected kusha grass and clay from Ganga for someone. Sometimes he carried a basket of flowers home for someone. Let me help you, let me help you. It's a great, great possibility to serve Vaishnavas. Great perfection of life. So easy to do also. A great result will come, great result. Gauranga himself was. So many other examples, but we stick to this. So although the Vaishnavas fervently requested him to refrain from such activities, saying, "What are you doing?" Vishvambara continued to serve them. In this way, Vishvambara daily acted as the servant of his own servants. What service is there that the Lord will not do for his devotees? The Lord gives up his own position for the sake of his servants. Yes. So they knew he was personality of God, most of them. But he was giving up that position. No, I'm your servant. Like this. We know from Christianity, Jesus was also washing the feet of his apostles. So that's the same principle. All the scriptures declare Krishna is the friend of all. Therefore, no one is hated or neglected by Krishna. Yet Krishna gives up his quality for the sake of his devotee. The annihilation of Duryodhana's family is the proof of this. It's an example of Mahabharata. So, it is the nature of the devotees to serve Krishna, and whatever Krishna does is for the sake of his devotees. So, Lord Gaurasundara is the same Krishna, but in covered form. No one could recognize their own Lord, even those for whom the Lord appeared. So Gaurachandra taught everyone to serve the Vaishnavas by his personal example. He did not feel shy as he carried their flower baskets and clothes. He was very happy. Why shy? Very, very happy. So the Vaishnavas, however, respectfully caught hold of his hands in order to dissuade him. No. So later we'll hear how Srivas Thakura in this chapter called the Lord the thief. Thief, I've caught you now. And Srivas started glorifying Gauranga. So, but Gauranga wanted to worship his devotees, but some of them were saying, "Oh, he's trying to steal something from very important. The facility, the proclivity to serve. He wanted to steal from us. He wanted to serve us, but no, we will not allow." And therefore, devotees also making that competition. Who will serve who? I will serve you more. No, I will serve you more. Quite the opposite as material life is, isn't it? They say, I love you, actually. I love me. And you're supposed to serve me. Because I love me so much that you're so instrumental, I'll use you. Terrible. Terrible, isn't it? So, but in spiritual world, it's quite the opposite, The more you serve, the more happy you are. And finally, okay, your guardians are saying, come on, enough for now. No, I want more, devotees. If you serve more, you will get sick, you will get tired. No, I want to continue, please allow me, like this. Seeing Vishvambara's humility, all the devotees continually offered their heartfelt blessings. Bhaja Krishna, Smara Krishna, Shuna Krishna Nam, Krishna Hau Sabara Jivan Dhana Pran. Worship Krishna, remember Krishna, and hear the names of Krishna. Let Krishna be the life and wealth of everyone. Please chant the name of Krishna. Bala Bahala Krishna, How Krishna Das, Tomara Hridaya Krishna, Hauna Prakash. Please chant the name of Krishna and become his servant. May Krishna manifest within your heart. So they were giving blessings to Gauranga. May nothing other than Krishna appear in your heart. Let all of our miseries be dispelled by you. May those fallen persons who ridicule the performance of Kirtan drown in the transcendental mellows of Krishna consciousness. As you conquered the entire world with your mastery of the scriptures, you should destroy the atheists by worshipping Krishna. Close? Okay. Mike. All right. Thank you. So they knew that Gauranga had mastered all the, I mean, he was the master of knowledge. So now you have to, with that same force, you have to establish bhakti in all the world and destroy the atheists. So Gauranga was spontaneously also speaking. He was speaking delirious things. And Yashoda was, Shachimata was noticing. So sometimes he was spontaneously shouting that, I will put an end to all atheists. I will destroy all the atheists, like this. He was shouting. And Shachimata was thinking, what's that? But actually devotees were asking, oh please. And Advaita was the first. Yeah. So Advaita, when he was offering that water of Ganga with tulasi, he was roaring and he was saying, oh Lord, if you don't descend, you must descend. If you don't descend, destroy all the, because he's Sadashiva, can destroy, you know. So I will destroy. If you don't do personally, then I will do, because it's not possible to tolerate anymore. You know? So Krishna consciousness is a revolution, complete revolution, when it's not possible to tolerate anymore. And it will come to you. Otherwise, you'll just drown. You know? So anyway, there's no death for the soul. But the drowning condition is not so nice. Nashobhati. Not so nice. So, by your mercy, may we all become, devotees were saying, may we all become overwhelmed with bliss while dancing and chanting the names of Krishna. In this way, the devotees placed their hands on the Lord and blessed him while submitting their sorrows. In this Navadvip, my dear, all the teachers are dumb in glorifying devotion to Krishna. My dear, all the great sannyasis, ascetics, and learned scholars that reside in Navadvip never explain that the purport of the scriptures is to glorify Krishna, rather they constantly engage in blasphemy. All the sinful listeners are captivated by their words, and therefore they consider us no better than straw. Therefore, dear Vishwambar, intense sorrow is constantly burning our bodies, for we never hear the propagation of the chanting of Krishna's names. You know, you can explain to someone, you can try to explain how thirsty you are in the desert. You can try to explain. You can try. You can meet someone, you know. He can see that person that you are almost dying, you know. But still you can try to say some words. But so devotees are really explaining their hearts, how suffering, how they were suffering. Now Krishna has exhibited his pleasure with everyone, so he has admitted you on this path. We are confident that all the atheists will be vanquished by you. Therefore, live forever and chant the holy names of Krishna. Reveal the qualities of Krishna to everyone. The Lord accepted the blessings of devotees on his head. What does it mean? On his head means I will definitely stay with those blessings. I will really follow their moods, and I will definitely fulfill their desires. So he promised them, okay, I will fulfill their desires. For by the devotee's blessings one obtains devotion to Krishna. So if he's the Lord, what kind of devotion is described here? Well, he was performing devotional service. His devotional service was to fulfill the desire of his devotee, to deprive finish the atheists, to support principles of devotion, to eradicate everything non-devotional. So, hearing about the devotee's distress, Lord Vishwambar desired to quickly manifest himself. Prabhukahe tume sabha Krishna radaita tomaraya bala se yahaibe nishchita. The Lord said, you are all affectionate devotees of Krishna, so whatever you say will undoubtedly happen. My life is glorious because of your words. Even the personification of death cannot transgress your words. Very important. Very many also verses quoted. The word of a Vaishnava can change karma, can stop death, can do anything. What does Guru give when he gives initiation? He gives life. While we don't have bhakti, we're actually not alive, we're dead. Dead. Like walking robots, biorobots or corpses. Like ghosts, you know. Really like speaking some, you know, things and occupying some positions and you know. Terribly, well, the least to say, the boring life, you know, really non-interesting. Na shobate, not that verse always on the mind. Na shobate means not nice, without devotion, not nice. Something, but okay, jiva certainly. Okay, can speak, can see, can think, can multiply 2 times 2, you know, etc. Without Krishna, not nice, you know, really. So Guru gives life, means install, like plugs you in. Very rough example, material, you know, but anyway, you become you. Without Guru, without devotion, without Guru you have no devotion. Without devotion, you are not you. Without Guru you can gain something, some type of abhas, some type of shadow. But Guru really installs you, like, you're the program which is ready to be installed, but not installed. So Guru installs you. You're the seed, you need to be planted. And the seed is lying down somewhere in the, you know, storehouse and waiting. Oh, so I'm lying here and I know that some other seeds had grown, so I'm waiting for myself to be planted by some gardener. So the gardener comes, that is Sri Guru. Main thing is, when Sri Guru comes, that is the Lord himself, because as it says here, the Lord cannot tolerate the suffering of his devotees. Lord Krishna always incarnates for the sake of his devotees. Ordinarily, like, we cannot see Krishna's avatar, like Sri Caitanya-bhagavata or Sri Krishna. They come very rarely, let's say, rarely enough. But we have always pure devotees present on this planet, and it is bona fide incarnation, actually, of the Lord's mercy. And we always have the holy name. That's what is given by Sri Guru. So the devotees are the Lord was continuing. Now I can understand that you will cause Krishna to make his appearance and fill the entire Navadvip with the happiness of Vaikuntha. By the mercy of all of you, the entire world will be delivered, for you will induce Krishna to incarnate. All of you, please consider me your servant and give me the benediction that you will never leave me. Then Vishvambara took the dust from his lotus feet. Pada Rajabhishekam he made. Prahlad Maharaj was teaching. He bathed himself in the dust of the lotus feet of devotees. And then all devotees took bath in the Ganga and returned home. So the Lord's anger towards atheists was increasing day by day, increasing. Not only not willing to develop their Krishna consciousness, they're also bothering others, you know, and not allowing others to be Krishna conscious. As Prahlad, we mentioned, he was tortured by Hiranyakashipu so hard, but he was always surviving. Always he was supported by the Lord. When Hiranyakashipu was trying to throw him from the mountain, the Lord was supporting him, so he was falling like a feather. So the Lord was very angry. Simharimu sababali kara hunkar. Muni say, bale barabar. He roared loudly, saying, I will kill them all. I will kill them all. Means kill their non-devotional tendencies. That's not like in the case of all other incarnations. He was calling their non-devotional tendencies. So the Lord's anger towards the atheists was very high, and he repeatedly was proclaiming, Muni say means I am he. So you can ask, that is Navadvip. In Navadvip, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is hidden. Nobody knows there that he is the Supreme Lord. Nobody knows. But why is he proclaiming this? I am he, I am the Lord, and how is that? So when Gurudev was asked about that, he was saying, this is like a straw in the milk. In the boiling milk, there's some straw. When milk boils very hard, then the stroke sometimes can be seen on the surface, but then it again goes down. So in that same way, Aishwarya, or the qualities of the Lord within Gauranga, were seen in Navadvip. They were seen, but then again they were disappearing. And the devotees were actually forgetting about those many, many times. Sometimes it was seen, they were praying, but then sweetness was again winning. So I'm here. Sometimes he laughed, sometimes he cried, sometimes he fell unconscious to the ground. Sometimes when he saw Vishnupriya, he rushed towards her to beat her. Vishnupriya, her wife, his wife. Why to beat? That's the emotion, you know. Because in his heart he was already was like a sannyas. Finally, he took sannyas. He was performing the role of a renunciate, and he left Vishnupriya when Vishnupriya was young, maybe 16. And she was like 14, 16, very old, young age. At one young age, there were marriages, but Vishnupriya and Lakshmipriya, there were two wives of Lord Gauranga. When Lakshmipriya left this world, then Shachimata asked him to marry again, so he took Vishnupriya. So they are incarnations of the two Shaktis of Lord Narayana. Lakshmipriya is Sri, and Bhu is Vishnupriya, yes. And the whole Navadvip, the land of Navadvip, is in Nila or Lila. There's three Shaktis of Lord Narayana. So in this way, the Lord was fully absorbed in the mood of Vishnu, yet Mother Shachi could not understand whether or not he was deceased. So sometimes devotees were praying to him as Vishnu, as we'll hear today. Srivas will be praying to Lord Gauranga. So Shachi was very, very miserable. She was saying, oh, now my Nimai is in such condition, and Providence has taken my husband and sons. Only one son remains. I cannot understand the state of his mind. Sometimes he laughs, sometimes he cries, and sometimes he falls unconscious. He often talks to himself, some things I cannot understand. He is saying, I will tear off the heads of the atheists, like this. Sometimes he climbs a tree and sits on a branch. Keeping his eyes shut, he then sometimes falls to the ground. He gnashes his teeth, tucks his loincloth like a wrestler, and falls to the ground, unable to utter a word. People had never seen or heard about such transformations of ecstatic love for Krishna. Thinking that it was madness, they said he should be bound. So then, those who came to see the Lord after hearing from Mother Shachi simply laughed and rushed away, thinking that he was suffering from insanity, thinking mad, some people were saying. And they were trying to pacify Shachi. Oh, it is some previous derangement that now reappeared. And somebody said, oh, Thakurani, you're so ignorant. Why do you want to ask further about his condition? Some previous madness has again appeared in his body. Now, tie his two legs and keep him inside the house and give him green coconut water to drink, because it helps the, how to say, malfunctioning of the life hairs within the body. So it stabilizes, the madness. Green coconut is good for madness. Give him. So, but somebody else said, what can a little medicine do? His disease will be cured only if you smear some medicated ghee on him. Ghee. So coconut and ghee, then madness will go. Yeah. Apply medicated oil on his head and then bathe him. Continue in this way until the disease subsides. So Shachi is the mother of the universe, and she would carefully follow everyone's advice. So she was overwhelmed with anxiety and did not know what to do. So she took shelter of Govinda with her body, speech, and mind, and desperately she sent a messenger to the house of Srivas, because she was sure that Srivas would help. Srivas was a very, very close associate of Sri Gauranga. So then Srivas Pandit went to the house of Gauranga, Shachimata, and the Lord immediately got up and offered obeisances because Srivas was senior. And Srivas was not feeling good when she saw that anyway. And after seeing a devotee, the Lord's devotional sentiments increased. His head stood on end. He shed tears, he shivered, and his attachment for the Lord was enhanced. At that time, the Lord was circumambulating Tulsi, but on seeing a devotee, he immediately fell unconscious, just stopped everything and fell. So Srivas fell unconscious for a moment, and then, after a while, regained external consciousness, stood up, began to cry. He shivered so intensely that he was unable to remain still. Then Srivas Pandit saw the wonderful sight. He contemplated, who calls this madness? Who calls this madness? This is the highest state of devotion. The Lord asked Srivas Pandit, "Oh Pandit, what do you think of my behavior?" And Srivas said, the Lord said, somebody suggested that, my insanity manifested because of some malfunctioning of some life airs. So what do you think about it? Srivas said, "Oh, Bhala Bai, Tomaraya Mata Bai, Taha Ami Chai." Your madness is good. I also want the same kind of madness for myself. I want the same kind of madness. Because Srivas is Narada Muni, incarnation. So he is topmost authority on devotion, topmost authority. He knows what that madness was about. So I find the highest devotional symptoms in your body. Lord Krishna has bestowed his mercy on you. When Lord heard this from Srivas, he embraced him in great happiness. So Gauranga was embracing Srivas. He said, everybody was saying that that's insanity. If you had also concluded that I was insane, that I would have drowned myself in the Ganga today without any consideration. So Srivas's words were everything for Mahaprabhu. So Srivas said, the symptoms of devotional service that you display are desired by personalities such as Brahma, Shiva, and Sanaka. We will gather together and chant the names of Krishna. Let the sinful atheists say whatever they want. We will gather and chant. That was the conclusion. Srivas offered his house for Gauranga to come, so then it started in his house. So Srivas said to Shachi, give up all your anxieties. I tell you, this is not insanity. It is devotion to Krishna. No one else can understand this fact. If you wish to see many more of Krishna's mysteries, then do not tell ordinary people about this. Very important. This is like camphor. If you have a little jar of camphor, don't open it. It will dissipate. So evaporate. So keep it. Keep your devotion within your heart. Don't speak about confidential subjects on the marketplace. Don't discuss confidential scriptures in the marketplace. Don't. This is very, very, very important to preserve your devotion. Certain topics we can discuss now. Today, not so many, new people, so we can discuss these things. So, Mother Shachi was still feeling some anxiety and fear that Gauranga will leave home. Yeah, because I forget to mention Vishwarupa, the elder brother of Gauranga, took sannyas. At the age of 19, he left home. Where he went, nobody knew, but then it became known. He became known as Shankararanya. His sannyasi name was Shankararanya. And he went to South India. So later, when Gauranga was in Puri, he went to South India to search for his brother. Actually, that was external reason, to search for his brother. Then he learned that Vishwarupa had left his body, left this world. So on that day, Gauranga shaved his head. That was right on the full moon in the middle of Kartik. In the middle of Chaturmasya, 4 months of rainy season. So therefore, although we don't shave during rainy season, in the middle of rainy season we shave in commemoration of that. How Gauranga shaved his head. So in this way, Vishwambara resided in Navadvip, and he was ready to reveal himself. So one day, the Lord happily went with Gadadhara to see Advaita. When they arrived, the two Prabhus saw Advaita Acharya sitting and worshipping the Lord with the Ganga water and Tulsi leaves again. He was doing. So he raised his two arms and loudly chanted, Hari, Hari, completely forgot himself and laughed one moment and cried the next. Roared like an intoxicated lion. His wrath was so intense it appeared that the great Rudra had advented. So Sadashiva also manifested. That was Advaita. As soon as Vishwambara Mahaprabhu saw Advaita, fell unconscious to the ground. By dint of his devotion, the mighty Advaita could recognize the Lord of my life. He thought, oh my thief, where will you go today? Thief. Because the Lord was trying to make Advaita, trying to worship Advaita and all the devotees. So that's what thievery Advaita was meaning. Yeah. So you're a thief today. So where will you go today? What next do you want to steal? You have been wandering about all these days, hiding just a thief. Your theory will not work with Advaita. I'll rather steal from the thief right now. Stealing from the thief. Great art, isn't it? Sometimes the thief becomes so much, self-confident, it doesn't notice that his goods, stolen goods are in danger. So that same way, Gauranga was, cheated by the Advaita, crafty Advaita. So understanding that it was the proper opportunity for stealing, Advaita came down from his seat with articles for worship. Here you go. He started worshipping Gauranga. So therefore, Advaita began to worship the lotus feet of Chaitanya by offering padya, agriya, achaman, all those paraphernalia, sandalwood paste, flowers. Let me offer my respectful obeisances. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. These mantras. Repeatedly he recited this verse, washed the Lord's two lotus feet with his tears, and then Gadadhara smiled, bit his tongue in surprise and said, "Oh, Gosani, it is not proper to behave like this towards a boy." Because Advaita was already gray-haired, was quite old, and this is a boy, So Advaita started worshipping him, and Gadadhara said, "Oh, Gosani, not good to behave like this towards a boy." On hearing Gadadhara's words, Advaita smiled and said, "Gadadhara, you will soon know who this boy is. You will know. Gadadhara is Srimati Radhika herself." So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always surrounded by his associates, very close associates. So those associates were called Pancha Tattva, or the Lord in 5 manifestations. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Chaitanya Nityananda. We heard about Nityananda yesterday. Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasa, Adi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. So Advaita is Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Gadadhara is Radhika herself, and Srivasa is Narada. So Gauranga and Nityananda are Krishna and Balaram. First incarnation of Krishna is Balaram. Then Mahavishnu incarnated as Advaita Acharya, and Sadashiva also. That is also incarnation. These are incarnations of the Lord. So we say Lord Gauranga, Lord Nityananda, and Lord Advaita. We never say Lord Gadadhara. We never say Lord Srivas, because Gadadhara is Shakti Tattva. That is the energy. That is Srimati Radhika herself. And Srivas is Bhakta Aikya, means best of the devotees, Narada. Great, great devotee. So we worship them together like this. So we are now witnessing how the two members of Panchatattva were together and how Gauranga was manifesting his love for them. So Gadadhara was supporting Gauranga always, like Radhika, always next to Krishna. I mean, supporting Krishna, but anyway, in Gauranga-lila she was a bit far away, but when it was needed to support him, Gadadhara was always coming. We'll hear a bit further on today how it was. But in this lila, in this pastime, Gadadhara is supporting Gauranga by, how to say, not allowing, trying not to allow Advaita to worship Gauranga and steal from the thief. Okay, so Gadadhara, how Advaita said, smiled and said, "Oh Gadadhara, soon you will know who this boy is." Gadadhara was struck with wonder and thought, "Oh, perhaps the Supreme Lord has appeared." Gadadhara was always thinking, also thinking, that Advaita understood the Supreme Lord appeared, and Gadadhara also understood the Supreme Lord appeared. There's a, how to say, flash of understanding, you know, the revelation in their hearts. After a while, Vishvambara regained external consciousness and saw that Advaita Acharya was absorbed in ecstasy. Vishvambara then tried to hide himself by offering prayers to Advaita with folded hands, but it failed. It failed. Advaita oh no, Gauranga started speaking. "Oh Mahashaya, please be merciful to me. Know for certain that I belong to you. My life has become successful by seeing you. So only by your mercy I will be able to chant the name of Krishna." So then Advaita thought, you think you are very clever, but I have stolen from the thief. I have stolen from the thief because I've already started my worship of his lotus feet. So who will worship who? There's a competition. So normally we worship the Lord, right? But the Lord comes as a devotee and he wants to worship his devotees. And the devotees are saying, no, not gonna happen. We will steal from the thief and we will worship him as it's due to be. So Advaita thought, you think you're very clever, but I will stolen from the thief. Thereafter Advaita smiled and said, "O Vishvambara, to me they are greater than all. I wish to live here and discuss topics of Krishna with you, so I shall constantly see you." So the Lord happily accepted Advaita's words and then returned to his home. So thus Advaita understood that the Lord had revealed himself. So anyway, he went to Shantipur. If he is actually so he was thinking, if he is actually the Lord and I'm actually his servant, then he will blind me and bring me to his side. So that really happened. That really happened, as you will hear now. Thus, Gauranga, Vishvambara, was engaging every day in his pleasing activities. He was engaged in congregational chanting in the company of the Vaishnavas. Who can describe the Lord's blissful absorption other than Lord Shesha? You know, Shesha, Naga, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, has millions of tongues. There's never end for description of the glory of the Lord from Ananta Shesha. Even Ananta Shesha not able to describe. So ecstatic manifestations of the Lord are described further on. When the Lord's body began to shiver, even 100 people were not able to hold him steady. And when tears flowed from his eyes, it appeared as if hundreds of rivers were flowing. When the hairs of his body stood on end, his body looked like a golden jackfruit. Again and again, he would laugh loudly with great jubilation. Sometimes in ecstasy, he lost consciousness for 3 hours, and on regaining consciousness, he would not speak about anything other than Krishna. The ears of people were pierced by his loud roar, but by his grace, devotees were delivered. So sweet. Harikatha is everything for us. And here the Lord is speaking Harikatha, glorifying his devotees, and then falls into trance. And in the trance, he experiences amazing, amazing manifestations. So we're hearing and we're praying, oh when that day will come, when we'll be able to achieve bhakti rasa. Kabhi habe bolo Sayyidina aparada guchi shudaname ruchi. Araya Sampa. Kabhi habe bolo Sayyidina. When will that day come when free from offenses, I will be able to chant the holy name constantly. So how to be with the Lord? How? By chanting. By chanting. Then we will be able to perceive His presence all the time. Now there are breaks. We chant, sometimes don't chant, sometimes go to program, we chant together, we hear, then we go home, we forget. What was the class about? How was the class? Oh, very wonderful. What about? Okay, Mahaprabhu is good. Okay, subject that you know. Mahaprabhu. What happened there? Oh, Gauranga was in ecstasy. Okay, at least good. At least good. At least good. Very good. So, Kali practice. But by chanting, by constant chanting, by deep chanting, by cultivating that consciousness, we'll be able to be the witnesses of those lilas. We will be witnesses of those lilas in the Shvetadvipa planet. Because the devotees of Gauranga receive two Swarupas, you know that? Two. Simultaneously. One in Krishna-lila, one in the pastime Krishna, who plays the flute and attracts everyone in Goloka Vrindavan. And the other one of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is in the form of a devotee. So he has the planet Shvetadvip, which is just, adjacent to the original Goloka Vrindavan of Krishna. So it depends on our interest and our, tendency, proclivity, then we will be sometimes there, sometimes here. Depends. It's very, very subtle things, but simultaneously two Swarupas is the fact for Vaishnavas, yes. Krishna-lila and Gaura-lila, because they're non-different. What's that? Araditam navavanam braja kananam te naraditam navavanam braja eva dure. Aradito dujasuto vraja kananaste naradito dujasuto nataveha Krishna. When you're in Mayapur, Navadvip, know that is Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. So, if you worship Vrindavan but don't worship Navadvip, Vrindavan will be very far away. But if you worship Navadvip and you remember Vrindavan and you know that is Vrindavan, Vrindavan will be very, very close. And when you worship Dvijasuta, the best of the Brahmanas, son of a Brahmana, Sri Chaitanya-bhagavata, knowing that is actually none different than Radha and Krishna. Krishna, in the role of Radhika, Krishna had taken the golden complexion and the mood of Radhika. Then you will really worship Vrindavan and you will know Shri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Like this. So, sometimes his entire body, Gauranga's entire body, assumed the stationary form of a pillar. And sometimes the same body became as soft as butter. When the devotees saw the wonderful sights, they no longer considered an ordinary human being. Sometimes someone said, this person is a partial incarnation of the Supreme Lord. Someone said, Lord Krishna sports in his body. Someone said, he may be Shukadeva Goswami, who spoke Srimad-bhagavata. Prahlad, a great saint, child, who was speaking about, Narada, Srivasin's incarnation of Narada. Another said, it appears that all our troubles will be vanquished. All the wives of the devotees said, it appears that Krishna has personally appeared. So many, many different opinions, impressions. Someone said, perhaps he is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. In this way, all the considered Lord in their own way. Vrindavana Das Thakura saying, I'm unable to describe how the Lord held the devotees by the neck and began to cry when he regained external consciousness. Mahaprabhu was crying, Kotha gele paye mo se murali vadan, bolite chasvasa karaya krandan. Where will I find Krishna who plays his flute? Speaking in this way, he sighed deeply and wept. When he became calm, the Lord said to his intimate devotees, "Now I will relate topics of my distress to you. Oh, my friends, please listen." And confidentially, he started speaking. Prabhu bole, mora se dukhera antanai, payao haraino, jivana kanai. The Lord said, there is no end to my distress, because after achieving Kanai, the Lord of my life, I then lost him. And he told what happened after his initiation. While returning from Gaya, I came to the village named Kanai Natashal. I saw a beautiful boy, blackish like a tamala tree. His enchanting curly hair was decorated with fresh gunja. His head was decorated with a colorful peacock feather, and the jewels on his body were so bright that I could not see him properly. He held an enchanting flute in his hand, and his lotus feet were adorned with attractive ankle bells. His arms were decorated with jeweled ornaments and defeated the beauty of blue columns. His chest was adorned with the mark of Srivatsa, the Kaustuba gem, and the jeweled necklaces. How can I describe the manner in which he wore his yellow garments, his shark-shaped earrings? Krishna has shark-shaped earrings, kundalas, increased the beauty of his lotus eye. He smiled as he approached me, and after embracing me, he ran away. He ran away. Who can understand the mood in which Gaurasundara speaks, except one who is favored by him? While speaking in this way, Vishwambara lost consciousness and fell on the ground, exclaiming, "Oh, Krishna!" The devotees quickly picked him up as they all chanted, "Krishna, Krishna." They pacified him and brushed the dust from his body. Although the Lord was pacified, he could not remain calm. He continuously cried, saying, "Kotha Krishna, Kotha Krishna, Bolya Kandai." Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? After a while, Sri Gaurasundara became calm and exhibited extreme natural humility. Everyone present became greatly satisfied on hearing the Lord's explanation on his devotional sentiments. They said, "We're indeed blessed, because you have made us most fortunate with your company. For one who associates with you, what is the value of Vaikuntha?" Vaikuntha means actual spiritual sky, because we associate with you, and everything we see is spiritual atmosphere. A single moment with you yields the fruit of devotion. We are all dependent on you. May you lead us in kirtan. Our bodies are burning from the fiery words of the atheists. Please relieve us with the cool waters of your love. Thereafter, the Lord happily solaced everyone and returned to his house like a maddened lion. Maddened lion. He was walking like a maddened elephant or maddened lion, and then in that same gait he returned home. But he could not enjoy his household pleasures anymore. Rather, he was always immersed in deep transcendental bliss. The tears of love that flowed from his eyes were such that it appeared like a Ganga, which flows from his feet, was now flowing from his eyes. The only words the Lord spoke were, "Kotha Krishna, Kotha Krishna, where is Krishna, where is Krishna?" Even on inquiry, there was no other reply. "Are you feeling good? What is going on with you? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna?" When the Lord saw any devotee, he asked, "Where is Krishna? Kotha Krishna, Kotha." Devotees on the level of ruchi, great taste for the holy name, they are coming close to experiencing this separation from Krishna. They are eager to hear about Krishna all the time. And while they're not hearing about Krishna, they're feeling very morose. When a devotee on that level meets some other devotee, "Oh brother, please tell me, where are you coming from?" Probably you're coming from Navadvip. "Please tell me, how are the devotees there? What Harikatha have you heard? Please tell me, please tell me." And then they traverse Asakti, they come to Bhav, and on the level of Bhav, they're already crying for Krishna. Those are the real tears. The tears before that, just okay, but they're like shadow. But those tears on the level above are real tears. So we're crying, that's why, singing and crying. Gauranga bolite habe pulaka sharira hari hari bolite na yane bhavini. When will tears flow from my eyes? When will my voice choke like this? When I chant the name of Krishna like this. So Gauranga was, this is prema of Srimati Radhika, who is in separation with Krishna, like this, the highest manifestation. But we're gradually coming to that. That's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that service to the devotees of Vraj, Vrindavan, immersed in the separation of Krishna is our highest engagement, highest like practice. We're practicing that, we're engaged in that. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu, our teacher, he's teaching, that's why we're hearing this. These are not just, stories. Please don't think, oh, how does it relate to me? Very directly related, most directly related. Nothing is more directly related to our life than this, actually. Nothing else. This. Caitanya-bhagavata itself is complete and Krishna Prema. But still, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which there are so many teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given, analyzed, and so much of his Siddhanta philosophy is given there. So also the other side, his teachings, is another side. The pastimes of Gauranga are all in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Pastimes of Gauranga also a lot in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but Chaitanya Charitamrita has all the teachings for Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Raya Ramananda talks with Raya Ramananda, different other things like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, etc. So all that is given. So where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? He was crying. After speaking in this way, the Lord would cry profusely, and the devotees would solace him according to their ability. So one day, Gauranga happily came before the Lord. Gadadhara came before the Lord with some betel nuts in his hand to appease him. On seeing Gadadhara, the Lord asked, Katha Krishna Achana Shyamala Pitavas. Katha Krishna Achana Shyamala Pitavas. Where is that blackish Krishna who is dressed in yellow cloth? Please tell me. Who is Gadadhara? Radhika. So, Gadadhara, Srimati Radhika, came close to Krishna in order to appease him. Who can appease Krishna? Radhika only, actually. So Gadadhara came close to Krishna, and Gauranga was talking to Gadadhara, please tell me, where is that Krishna? Where is that Krishna? He has blackish complexion and yellow cloth, pitambara. Where is he? So all the devotees there felt as if their hearts were pierced on seeing the Lord's intense longing. Everyone was perplexed about how to reply. Nobody was able to reply, actually. But Gadadhara anxiously replied, Krishna always resides within your heart. As soon as the Lord heard the voice, Krishna is in your heart, he began to scratch his chest with his fingernails. He was scratching harder and harder until blood manifested from his nails. So Gadadhara quickly caught the Lord's hands and pacified him with various words of solace. E asibena Krishna stira haomane. Oh, please be peaceful. Krishna will return. He will return soon. And Mother Sachi was looking on. Mother Sachi became very pleased with Gadadhara and thought, I haven't seen such an intelligent boy before. He managed to appease my Nimai. Out of fear, I cannot stand before him. Yet now, nicely, you consoled him. How did it happen? My dear boy, always remain with him. Do not leave him and don't go anywhere else. So Gadadhara was guarding the Lord like this. Srimati Radhika was guarding Krishna. On seeing the Lord's wonderful ecstatic love, Mother Shachi no longer considered him her son. She thought, This personality is not an ordinary human being. Can tears flow like that from the eyes of an ordinary human being? So they were all suspicious that this is the Lord, but they were still forgetting in Navadvip. I do not know, Shachi was saying, what great personality has appeared in my family. Frightened in this way, Mother Shachi did not come before the Lord. In the evening, all the devotees gradually assembled at the Lord's house. Therefore, Sri Mukunda began to recite various verses glorifying devotional service. Most fortunate Mukunda had such a divine voice that as soon as the crest jewel of Brahmanas heard him, he became absorbed in trance. So some verse he quoted, Mukunda was, before in Krishna-lila, Mukunda is Madhukanta, I think, Madhukanta, Snigdakanta, those two singers. So Mukunda Datta, Vasudeva Datta, the two brothers, they're Madhukanta and Snigdakanta, Nanda Baba's courtyard. So they're always narrating Krishna's pastimes. Srila Jiva Goswami and Gopal Champu is retelling what they were singing about Krishna. So they came as Mukunda, the Datta brothers, Mukunda Datta, Vasudeva Datta. So the Lord began to cry out when he heard the voice, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. He then fell on the ground in the various directions and no one could hold him. All transformations of ecstatic love, like fear, laughter, shivering, perspiring, hair standing on end, and thundering voice simultaneously manifested in his body. On seeing this unique manifestation, the devotees sang in great joy. The loving sentiments of the Lord could not be checked. The entire night passed like a moment. In the morning, the Lord seemed to regain some external consciousness. Thus, the Supreme Lord inaugurated the performance of Kirtan. As a result, all devotees' distress was mitigated. So, he was shouting Hari Bol so vigorously that all these atheists could not sleep. Atheists were waking up. Yes, he wanted to tear them up, like he wanted to finish them. But first, he was finishing the hearing. They could not sleep. Started from hearing. They were the voice of the Lord, Hari Bol, the roar, was tearing the hearing apart. So when the happiness of their sleep was broken, the atheists became angry and blasphemed as they pleased for their own ruination. Someone said, that madness has come upon them. What madness has come upon them? Someone else said, we're unable to sleep all night. Somebody said, the Lord will become angry because of this loud noise, and that will result in their destruction. Another said, rather than cultivating knowledge, they're acting most arrogantly. It's time to study Vedanta. And they are shouting and roaring and doing nonsense. Somebody said, who knows what kind of kirtan are they doing? That foolish Brahman Srivas is behind all that. To fill their bellies by begging, those four brothers, Srivas and his brothers, loudly call out the name of Krishna as they were afflicted by insanity. Materialists always such. Can they not achieve piety by chanting on their minds? Does chanting loudly bestow their piety? Someone else said, oh brothers, we're doomed because of Srivas. The entire country will be ruined. I've heard this morning that on the king's order, 2 boats are on the way here. The king has heard about the loud kirtan in Nadia, therefore he has ordered that they be arrested and brought before him. Now Srivas Pandit will slip off in some direction or other, leaving us to face certain ruin. So instead of Srivas, we will be arrested. So they were thinking. So I bluntly told you before that we should throw Srivas's house into the Ganga. Let him drown with his family. Like this. Atheists. No joke. It's revolution, In this revolution, there's opposition. That's natural. So we should not be afraid. There may be some tougher reaction than now. So you thought it was a joke and did not pay any attention, but now you see, we will all be destroyed. Someone else said, why does this have to do with us? We will bind Srivas and turn him over to whoever demands him. From town to town, the news was spread. The king's men are coming to arrest the Vaishnavas. When the Vaishnavas heard this news, they all subdued their fears by remembering Govinda. Whatever Krishna Chandra ordains must take place. Why should one fear wicked persons when the Lord is there? So Srivas was most open-minded. He had firm faith in whatever he heard. So he knew that the Yavanas means meat eaters, Muslims, were ruling the kingdom. So he became fearful, and then Gaurachandra knew the heart of his devotee. So Gaurachandra made himself visible in front of Srivas. Fearlessly he wandered about Navadvip, and finally he came to Srivasa's house. Loudly he shouted, Srivas, what are you doing? The Lord repeatedly kicked on the door on the roof. He was worshipping Nrsimhadev, half man, half lion, protective incarnation. So that same incarnation saved the little boy Prahlad from his demoniac father Hiranyakashipu. We heard his prayer today. So when devotees are in danger, they pray to Nrsimhadev. Nrsimhadev always helps. And so many situations devotees were, and Nrsimhadev was always helping. So your humble servant also, we had some trouble in China, in Russia, and Nrsimhadev was always protecting. We had like a serious trouble in China. 7 hours in a police department. Yeah. But Nrsimhadev saved us. So anyway, the Lord repeatedly, so who are you worshipping? Kahare pujisa karis kara dhyan. Who are you worshipping? Oh Srivas, who are you worshipping? Who are meditating on? Look, he whom you are worshipping is standing before you. And he manifested before Srivas. Srivas Pandit saw a blazing fire, and his meditation was broken. His meditation fructified immediately. The object of meditation came immediately before him. He opened his eyes and looked around. He saw Vishwambar sitting like a hero and holding conch, disc, club, and lotus in his 4 hands. He sat on the altar of Vishnu as in virasana, in heroic posture, like type of yogic posture, but it's special heroic posture, holding the 4 symbols of Vishnu: conch, disc, mace, and lotus flower. The 2 symbols, blessing, conch and lotus, and 2 are punishing the demons, disc and mace. So the Lord constantly roared like an intoxicated lion, like Nrsimhadev. That's same because he was meditating on Nrsimha, so he was roaring. He slapped the left side of his stomach like this, roaring, slapping. On seeing him, Srivas Pandit began to tremble and became completely speechless. Dekhiya balaya Prabhu, Are Srinivas, etadinano janisa amara prakash. Oh Srinivas, same. All these days you did not know about my appearance. By your loud chanting and Nadia's roaring, I left Vaikuntha and came here with my associates. You are living unconcerned without recognizing me. And Nada means loving nickname of Advaita Acharya, coming from Narayana actually, Nada, like this Nada, with a dot, Nada. Yeah, so he was calling Advaita, Nara. So Nara called me. But now he has avoided me by going to Shantipur. I will deliver the saintly persons and destroy the miscreants. Do not worry. Offer prayers to me. Offer prayers to me, Srivas. So that manifestation was full of Aishwarya, full of magnificence. But Srivas is Narada Muni. He knows about the Lord's opulence, so he was worshipping, in the mood of like Dwaraka. So Srivas' entire body was filled with ecstasy, and he stood up with folded hands and began offering prayers. So he recited the verse from Bhagavatam by Brahma, Naumi dete bravo pusheta dadambaraya gunjavatam sabri pichala sanmukaya vanyasra jekavala vetra vishana venu lakshma shriya mridupade pashupanga jaya. When Brahma first saw Krishna, when he committed his mistake, we were speaking about the former manifestation of Haridas the day before yesterday. So when he was Brahma, then remember he hid Krishna's boyfriends into the cave. So then when Krishna came to him, he saw Krishna, the first prayer he uttered was this Naumi Dite Bravo Pusheta Danambaraya. My dear Lord, you're the son of the king of cowards, Pashupanga Jaya. Yeah, so that is the proof actually from Bhagavatam that Krishna is son of Nanda. It's very important proof, this verse. Brahma's first prayer. As many people say that Krishna was born in Mathura. This is also true, but Krishna actually was born as the son of Nanda and Yashoda. And in Mathura, who came? What's that? Mathuresh Krishna. So Krishna had been born as a four-handed son of Vasudeva and Devaki. So anyway, Brahma saw him. Oh, you're the king of cowards, you're the son of Nanda, and your garment is brilliant like lightning, and dark complexion is blue, bluish dark complexion like a new cloud, and beauty of your face and his hands by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather in your head. You're wearing a long garland of forest flowers reaching your knees, like this beautiful, beautiful prayer. So when Srivas offered that prayer, he added so many others. Offer my respectful obeisance to the lotus feet of Shachi's son, whose head is decorated with a fresh gunja and peacock feather. So many things. He was explaining this verse. Actually, you're the Supreme Lord, like this. So similar to Lord Brahma's prayers were all those prayers of Srivas. Tumi Vishnu, Tumi Krishna, Tumi Yageshwar, Tomara Charanadaka, Ganga Tirtavar. You are Vishnu, you are Krishna, you are the Lord of sacrifice. Holy waters of the Ganga emanate from your lotus feet, etc., etc. Who is not bewildered by illusory energy? Even though Goddess Lakshmi lives with you, she does not know your glories. So he was praying and praying and praying. Prayers of Srivasa, wonderful. So Srivasa was overwhelmed in ecstasy. He raised his arms, cried and sighed deeply. The most fortunate Srivasa rolled on the ground after seeing the most wonderful manifestation of Sri Gaurasundar. So that was the first manifestation of Lord's, what's that? We can say Mahaprakash, the great epiphany in the association of his devotees. So later it became constant. 21 hours a day and a night, day and night, the Lord was manifesting that. Many devotees saw the incarnations, different incarnations. He summoned so many devotees and fulfilled their desires and remembered some intimate relationship with them. That was just amazing, that manifestation of great epiphany, Mahaprakash. So the Lord smiled after hearing the prayers of Srivas. Being compassionate to Srivas, the Lord spoke, O Srivas, bring your wife, children, and others of your house to let them see my form. Let them all see my form. So, and ask any benedictions you desire. So being ordered by the Lord, Srivas immediately brought all the family members. He offered them to the lotus feet of the Lord, as well as the flowers and everything, all paraphernalia. So, in the company of his wife, the Brahmana cried as he worshipped the lotus feet of the Lord with sandal paste, flowers, incense, and lamps. Srivas led his brothers, wife, servants, and maidservants to humbly falling at the lotus feet of the Lord. So the Lord placed his lotus feet on the heads of everyone, all the family members. Unseen by all, the Lord touched everyone's heads with his lotus feet. He smiled and said, "May your minds be fixed on me." Then Vishvambara roared loudly and spoke to Srivasa as follows: "O Srinivas, are you afraid of something? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I have heard that the king's boat has arrived for your arrest. By my own supreme will, I am the director of all living entities in the innumerable universes. If I have the king make an order to arrest you, then only will he do so. Otherwise, he will not be able to arrest you. So I can prevent them from doing that as well. If this were not the case, if he independently ordered you to arrest, then this is not what I will do. I will be the first to board the boat and present myself before the king." And I will do, he's saying now what I will show the king. "Will the king remain sitting on this throne after seeing me? I will bewilder him and drag him down. If this does not happen, if he holds me for questioning, then this is what I'll tell him. Listen, O king, bring all of your mullahs," Muslim king, "bring here all of your mullahs and qazis, and let us discuss the truth. Bring the elephants, horses, animals, and birds that you have. Instruct your qazis to recite your scriptures and make these creatures cry. Let us see how they will cry because of that. If they are unable to do this, then I will manifest myself to the king. You dared to stop Sankirtana on the advice of these fellows. Everyone has now seen what power they actually have. Now behold my power with your own eyes. I will show the king my own power." Then, after saying this, I will bring intoxicated elephants to the king. I will gather the elephants, horses, deer, and birds and induce them to chant the holy name of Krishna and cry. I will induce everyone to chant the name of Krishna and cry, including the king and his subjects. Do not maintain slightest doubt. I will show you now before your eyes. And they will all cry, and the king will see that. Then Srivas saw one little girl called Narayani. She was the niece of Srivas Pandit. She was just 5-year-old. So Gauranga, the supreme witness in everyone's heart, ordered Narayani, "O Narayani, chant the name of Krishna and cry." And the little girl, 4-year-old girl, acted like she was mad. She cried and chanted Krishna and forgot herself, totally forgot herself in trance. Tears flowed from her eyes to the ground, making the surrounding area wet. But Lord Vishvambara smiled and said, "Now have your fears been dispelled, O Srivas?" After this incident of the little Narayani. So Srivas raised his arms and spoke to the Lord, "O Lord, when in the form of time you annihilate the entire creation, I am not afraid due to the power of your holy names. So what is there to fear now that you are personally present in my house?" So after speaking in this way, Srivas was overwhelmed, and as him and his associates saw the Lord's opulences, so thus Sri Vrindavana Das Thakura is telling us about those wonderful Leelas. Srivas Pandit was most dear to the Vaishnavas, so all of them became filled with prema. So Vishvambara said to Srivas, "Oh Srivas, don't disclose this to anyone." Then Vishvambara came back to external consciousness, regained external consciousness. Solacing Srivas, he returned home. He was a bit ashamed. Have I done something improper? He was thinking, actually. Srivas was fully happy and satisfied. So then everybody was happy in the house of Srivas, like this. So thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was conducting his sankirtana pastimes, and also after this he bestowed the vision of the Lord Varaha, incarnation of boar, to Morari Gupta, also very ecstatic. Morari Gupta was fully ecstatic. So these pastimes are very wonderful. They constitute the beginning of sankirtana-lila. So tomorrow is the disappearance day of Sri Lochandas Thakur, the author of Sri Chaitanya Mangala. So I think we'll hear something from Sri Chaitanya Mangala, and maybe remember also something from these sankirtana-lilas of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So tomorrow is our last meeting, and please come, everyone. Invite those devotees who were not able to come today. All together here, Gaura-lila tomorrow. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Vrindavana Das Thakur ki jai. Sri Caitanya-bhagavata ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari. Okay, very good. Many comments here. I think from Sukada Didi. Hare Krishna. Jai Krishna Balaram Mandir Seva Kunj Gali Vrindavan, also known as Rupanuga Bhajan Stali under Srila Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj. Ki Jai. Okay. Braja Bina Nara Piko, without bhajan, we are boring. Boring. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, most welcome. Otherwise, we can sing some kirtan, right now. Oh, you have. Okay, Nayan. Cheers. Haribo.
The question I was going to ask is, you said about simultaneously two places in terms of Navachitadi and Goloka. So this Morari Gupta is also a close associate, so he's Ishtadev is Lord Ram.
Yeah, he's so, Hanuman. He's Hanuman, full name.
How does that relate to Goloka? The two-way split? So what about the people who move towards Krishna and Dwaraka and Lord Ram?
So many associates Lord Gauranga had, and some of them came from different planets of spiritual world, some of them came from heavenly planets, some of them came from, for example, Acharya of Ramanuja Sampradaya. Ramanujacharya came as a devotee called Ananta, for example. He was one of the associates of Gauranga. So many devotees came from many places, and Mahaprabhu was giving them Krishna Prema in the four rasa, in the four moods. Sakya, Dasya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Friendly relationship, servant, master and servant, friendly relationship, parental relationship, and Madhurya, loving relationship, in the mood of the beloved. So everybody was receiving, not necessarily everybody was from Goloka Vrindavan, no. But his eternal associates from many places came to join the pastimes. So that's why Gauranga's pastimes are overwhelming, all attracting, everybody's joining. So that's why Murari also came. And Gauranga was inducing him, please chant Hare Krishna, but he was crying. He wanted to kill himself. And he came to the house of Murari one morning when he was crying, sleepless night. It was, okay, I'm going to kill myself. Gauranga said, hey Murari, give me that knife. Give me that knife. So he took away his knife. That's all right. You're eternal associates of Ramachandra. So he left him like this. Okay, if you cannot chant Krishna, then okay, Sitaram. Like this, but anyway, he couldn't change his Swarupa. He was trying, but also the brother of Rupa and Sanatana, Anupama, also Rama Bhakta, Sitaram, is trying to. But very soon he left his body, probably because of, it's not said, but probably because he wanted to join with his Lord. Very soon he left. On the way, when Rupa and Anupama were going towards Puri, and on the way he died. But he was Rama Bhakta also. So there's one term, Sthai Bhava, eternal ecstasy. That ecstasy of relationship with Krishna is always in our hearts. So it can be not manifested for a long time, but then when you come to devotional association, then gradually it will become manifest. But for some time you may be in the association of some devotees who are of different mood. Like in Vrindavana, Gopa Kumar, a cowherd boy who was born in Vrindavan in this land, is traveling towards Goloka Vrindavana by crossing many, many abodes of material world and spiritual world. All those we saw on the map yesterday. So step by step he was going up and up and up, crossing all abodes. Finally, when he went to Vaikuntha, where Krishna is known as Lord Narayana and seated on the throne, then Gopa Kumar he recognized his dear friend and wanted to embrace him. But the gods stopped him. No, you cannot be so much, approach our Lord with so much familiarity. So they stopped him. And he was not satisfied. Not satisfied, so always thinking of his Madan Gopal, Madan Gopal. It's a very, very fascinating book. And a short synopsis you can read in Going Beyond Vaikuntha, a book by Srila Gurudev. It's his classes on Bhagavad-gita. So another example is Gopa Kumar. So finally he went to Golok and he saw Madan Gopal, he saw his Krishna, and he manifested as cowherd boy. But at once he noticed that, oh, this place looks exactly like my village, which is near Govardhan he was born. So in Goloka Vrindavan he actually the initial Goloka Vrindavan and the Prakat Vrindavan. Prakat is the same. Prakat Vrindavan is the same here. So thus Gopakumar's case also shows how sometimes our, what's it called, permanent ecstasy or Sthai Bhava is not revealed for some time. So anyway, those eternal residents of, say, different planets, like Murari Gupta is eternal associate of Lord Ramachandra, were deriving so much happiness in Gauranga. Certainly was seeing Gauranga as his Lord Ramachandra, but the sweetness of Gauranga's pastimes, the sweetness of the flavor of the holy name he was relishing and distributing was so unforgettable that everybody was so much attracted. Gauranga is in the center. That is the Purushottam. Everybody is attracted by that. So like this. Hare Krishna. Okay, any more questions? Oh, again, Nayan. All right.
You said also about Sri Bo and one other, I think was it, of 9?
Sri, Bhu, and Nila, Shaktis. So, Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya, they constitute the 2 of the 3 Shaktis of Lord Narayana. Sri being Lakshmi, Sri, is goddess of fortune, and Bhu, or actually earth, constituted by Vishnu Priya. And Nila or Lila is the holy dham, holy abode, Navadvip. So those who want to worship the Lord in Vaidhi Bhakti, they worship like Gaura Vishnu Priya. That is the deity established by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the main temple, Sri Chaitanya Mat. Oh no, sorry, in the Yoga Pit where Mahaprabhu appeared. But those who want to follow the process of spontaneous devotion, they worship Gaura-lila. Gaura-lila. That's more confidential. The deities of Srila Bhaktivinoda, Gaura-lila, in Godrumadvip. So like this. Hare Krishna. So we can sing one song for Gauranga, probably, and we'll finish.
Yes, and then Arati will be there.
Is it?
Yes, probably.
Okay. So you want one
Yes.
Gauranga?
Yeah, we can sing one bhajan for Guru. You want? Gauranga bolite.
We spoke about that earlier. Do you want to sing it? No? Mark, what song do you want to sing?
I'm just thinking. No.
This one.
Yadi Gauranga Nahito. Jadi Gauranga Nahito.
68.
We'll see. So Sri Narahari Sarakar Thakur is singing, if Sri Gauranga had not appeared, then what would have become of us? How would we have survived? Who could have taught the world about the glories of Srimati Radharani and the topmost limit of Prema Rasa? Who would have had true insight to enter the sweet rapture of the forest of Vrindadevi and the power to render loving service in the mood of the damsels of Braj? With a simple heart, always sing about Gauranga's glorious qualities. I cannot see even one person as compassionate as he in the ocean of material existence. Even though I chant Gauranga, my heart has not melted. How do I continue to maintain this body? How has Narahari been created with a stone in the place of a heart? Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dorito de. Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dorito de. Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dorito de. Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, Madhura Vrinda Vipina Madhuri Pravesha Chaturi Sara. Madhura Vrinda Vipina Madhuri Pravesha Chaturi Sara. Baraja Juvati Bhavera Bhakti. Vrajara Juvati Bhavera Bhakti. Naita Hoitoka. Naita Hoitoka. Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dharito de. Jadi Gauranga nahito, kemone dharito de. Gau puna puna, Gaurangera guna, Sarala hoi amana. Gau puna puna, Gaurangera guna, Sarala hoi amana. He bhava sagare he mana daya. He bhava sagare he mana daya. Na dekhi dekha jaan, na dekhi dekha jaan. Jadi Gauranga nahito, tabe ki hoito, kemone dharito de.
jadi Gauranga nahito tabe ki hoito kemone Gauranga bolia nagenu galia kemone dharinu de Gauranga bolia nagenu galia kemone dharinu de Nara Hari Hiya Pashana Diya Nara Hari Pashana Diya Kemone Gauriya Che Kemone Gauriya Che Jadi Gauranga Nahito Tabiki Hoito Kemone dharito de jadi Gauranga nahito tabe ki hoito kemone dharito de Radhara mahima prema rasa sima jagate janato ke Radhara mahima prema rasa sima jagate janato ke Gauranga nahito tabe ki hoito kemone dharito de Adi Gauranga nahito tabe ki hoito kemone dharito de Jayo Sachinandan Jayo Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jayo Gaura Hari Jayo Sachinandan Jayo Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gaura Hari Bo Gaura Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Nitai Gaur Premanande Nitai Gaur Premanande Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki Jai Shri Caitanya-bhagavata ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki Jai Paramaraditam Guru Pad Padma ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari So tomorrow is our last program, disappearance day of Srila Lochandas Thakur. Tomorrow we'll hear again Gaura-lila from Caitanya-mangala from Srila Lochandas Thakur, and maybe remember some Caitanya-bhagavata as well. So I hope you were pleased to hear Gauranga's pastimes. That is our greatest treasure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So, Radhe Radhe. Soon there will be Harati, right? Harati will make evening puja, evening service.